Welcome everybody to the Windy City Savage. We are live back and at it. You already know what time is it. SG3, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, the pointy man. SG3. How y'all doing tonight, man?
And with that introduction, you already know who I am. Let's get it into the news, brother. All right, we got a lot of news to talk about, and let's just start off with the obvious. Gunther challenge. Well, actually, AJ challenged Gunther for another match since he lost, and he almost had him beat. He made him tap out like a little bitch. But the referee didn't see it. So obviously, sorry about that, lost connection. But like I said, the referee didn't pay attention. At that point, Gunther came with the obvious with the win. So AJ didn't like that. Challenged him again at the Rumble with the stipulation that Gunther put in. And that is, if you want me at the Rumble, you'll get me at the Rumble as long as you put your career on the line, AJ. And with that being said, we heard rumors for quite a while that AJ Styles is planning to retire sometime this year. So my question is, what is it?
Oh, sorry, my sweetheart just said Gunther.
Yeah. So with that being said, though, once again, is this the time that we do see AJ finally retiring, or does he win, come off with the win, and then yet we prolong this whole retirement tour? It is kind of sketchy. I don't understand if this is his case of retirement. Why so soon without advertising it properly? I just don't get it. I'm kind of scared. I don't like it. Alrighty, sorry about that. We're back. So, regardless of that, what do you think, SG3?
So I don't know if you heard Michael Cole actually saying AJ's supposed to wrestle in 2026. Who knows what's supposed to happen? Honestly, my honey, she's a fan of Gunther. She says he looks mean, so that's why she's a fan of him. But if it is the end of AJ Styles, maybe he didn't want to put like a lot of talk to it. You know, maybe he wanted to say, you know what, guys, I'm my age already. And again, he's talked multiple times. I'm at my age. And who knows, maybe if TKO wanted to give him a good like send off. Who knows what he wanted? Again, you know what? We were talking so much speculation because the career's gonna be on the line. But maybe it could be, you know what? It could be like Ric Flair. Ric Flair kept winning and winning and winning and winning, and it's like maybe this is the same thing with AJ Styles.
But that's the thing, though. If that's the case, I know where you're getting at with the Ric Flair retirement tour. But that's the thing. It was announced that the next match you lose eventually will be your last. But at no point did we get that this year with AJ. So that's the thing.
Well, he did keep saying the fact that 2026 is my last year. And many of us did know the fact that his contract was up by WrestleMania.
Well, that was the speculation. But then there was rumors that he was going to extend it to 2026 through the end of the year. But is now the time that AJ actually might be planning to retire? But at this point, does it make sense? I mean, overall, it's just bad advertisement if that was the case. Or maybe he walks away with the win. But why put your career on the line so soon? And what does that mean of who's next to face him and go with his last match? Because we do think eventually he might have another end of the year run. Might go to TNA. Might, capture another gold title. Maybe the Intercontinental title. But all of a sudden, you hit him with the retirement tour. The retirement match. It doesn't make any sense. Storyline wise.
Well, who knows again? Who knows what could happen there? And maybe AJ wins this one. Maybe AJ wins this one, and then like down the road, it's like, all right, cool. Like you've been winning. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, you know what, man? You beat me. I beat you one more time. And I've been saying this last year. One more time, best 2 out of 3. And I can see that happening.
But that doesn't make any sense storylines. Because at that point, it's like you're at the point of the career. So you're going to repeat it again and put your career on the line? It doesn't make any sense. It just sounds like bad booking. I might not be Gunther, the guy who retires him.
Yeah.
It might be someone else that he wants to face. It might be a Javon Evans.
Or even Finn Balor.
No, I don't know about Finn Balor. Not at all. But it might be a Javon Evans that finally puts AJ to retire. Because I don't think Gunther's the man. Because I think he's going to win this coming Royal Rumble. when it's supposed to retirement match, but it's still kind of odd though. All of a sudden, you're getting all these matches come down to the last 2 weeks of the wire before we get to the Rumble, and this big announcement comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And for a match of this height, you're gonna put this before either the men's or the women's Rumble. It just doesn't seem like a proper send off if that was the case for AJ. There's no point of him losing. The only issue is I am scared because I feel like they will pull the plug and put Gunther going over on AJ just to get that nuclear heat when he comes back to the States. Because I probably will get booed in Saudi, but it won't be as bad when he comes back home to the States. How bad he's going to get booed. That's what makes me fear it the most, that we don't see it coming. We expect AJ to win overall, but I don't know. I just don't like it. I just still think it's kind of bad booking. It doesn't make any sense. And if AJ does win, I don't think they go for another round 3. I think they just let it be. AJ got his win. Gunther got his win. And maybe down the line they'll face each other again, but I don't think Gunther's the guy to retire him because it doesn't make sense to put your career twice with the same person. That might mean that eventually he's going to call his own shot and call his own retirement, and he's going to face his own person that he wants to face.
Probably.
And it might be a future superstar. I mean, I'm going to say Javon Evans. It could be Obafemi. It could be
Obafemi been doing it too.
pretty good too without the thing. Technical difficulties once again, but overall, man, this is just crazy coming out of nowhere on the Monday Night Raw. What's your other thoughts on this?
Again, I feel like it's just, who knows? I hope it's not the end. If it is the end, though, then damn. You know, like all it was, I guess, because Cena's a home guy, and I mean, dude, it's such a bad thing because then it's like you never let AJ get the proper send off that he deserved. A legend in the squared circle, a legend in the business, legend in the ring, legend everywhere. And it's like he should have, honestly. I was honestly hoping he gets one more run in Paris and France. Because dude, France loves him, man.
Yeah, same here. I would like to see him get another proper run for retirement tour. But here's the thing. It's predictable. Eventually, we're going to say WWE is the home of retirement matches.
Eventually.
We can't just expect the big names to go out for a whole year and just advertise them and build around them till the end of the year. It's going to get stale. It's not going to mean much.
Or who knows, maybe they didn't have really like a good retirement tour and AJ was like, all right, then I'm out. I'm done.
I don't think that's the case. If anything, I just feel like at this point with this whole retirement thing, it's just going to get stale, man. It's just like we expect people every year to retire at some point. So all these legends, it's going to get stale. It's not going to mean much. So that being said, I guess we could both vote on AJ going about and winning this one in the Rumble. But who knows? We'll see next week how Monday Night Raw plays around and see what happens. Okay, some other news into tonight's Monday Night Raw. We did get Becky Lynch versus your girl,
Maxine Dupree.
Just continue on. Just back. Yeah, so regardless, we did get that going on. We did get Natty Neidhart turned heel.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm done with this Maxine thing against Becky Lynch. The less I say is the better.
Here you go, guys.
So yeah, Natty Hart turned heel. So I was just crazy. I don't understand why. We're gonna get more to come. Attack Maxine after the match.
Brutally attack Maxine.
Yeah. It's about time we did see Natty turn heel. I kind of like it. Like I said, though, the less I see of Maxine and Becky Lynch, the better. Just because Maxine just does not look ready for these main event matches. I'm sorry, but she bouches a lot of movesets. She misses a lot of stuff. That kick towards the end, she missed completely.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch sold it for her. And kudos to Becky for being,
even the grab for the ankle lock, it was botched. You saw that?
Yeah.
Becky
honestly,
kept her leg like in the other, come on, grab my leg.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but some people just can't improve. It's like when you got it, you got it. There's only so much you could do, but it just doesn't look natural. I would like to see where this is going to head to with Natty Hart and Maxine next week. Any thoughts on this?
Here's what I think, dude. Honestly, I feel like it's good for the business in regards to Natty's still there. Natty's going to show Maxine how to actually improve. So I see your point. I do see your concern because Maxine, for me, has a lot of issues that she's going to need to work out, and she knows she needs to work on timing. She needs to work on landing, but again, most importantly, she needs to work on timing. So I feel like her with Natty, who is her mentor, is going to teach her like, hey, this is how you land this is how you land that. And she shouldn't have as much fails. Mind you, we're human. She's going to mess up eventually here and there. I'm not saying the fact that she's going to be perfect to the core, but she's going to see. I feel like with this, it's going to basically propel her to hone her craft, if that makes sense. So I feel like it's good for her in this regard because she's in with a vet, a long-time vet, and also someone who's actually training her to keep doing better. I just don't want this to be dragged out for a long time. I can stand a month of it, cool, whatever, because I know you're doing your backstage training, so it's fine. However, though, if you're doing like now 4 months down the road and we're still having the same freaking feud, then I'm having an issue with it.
Yeah, I just hope they keep it short and sweet, and then we finally get a good Natty heel run. But that's the thing. I don't really see them doing too much with Natty after this whole little heel run with Maxine. I think she's gonna be gone with the win once again. But we'll see. We'll see what's coming in the future for that. We also got a little bit of the Vision versus the Luchadors, Rey Mysterio and Penta. Dragon Lee was a pretty decent match overall. Not bad. Surprised that they got the win. Yeah. I'm surprised the Vision actually lost. It was shocking. They got hit with their own brass knuckles too. It double failed them, Logan Paul. So I mean, it was a pretty good match. What are your thoughts overall?
I like the little problems outside between Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman. That was actually kind of funny.
We're going to talk about that. Where yes, we do see that the whole issue last week where Adam Pearce did put his hands on Braun Breaker, and now Paul Heyman told Adam Pearce, I would answer this phone call, and he did. Afterwards, Adam Pearce came back and asked Paul Heyman, I want to talk to Braun, and Paul Heyman is like, was it that phone call? He's like, nah, I just want to talk to him man to man. I want to get him in the room and just speak to him, man to man. And this got to be interesting because at this point, we do know that Braun Breakers has to be in the Rumble. So he's going to get reinserted. But here's the thing. Here's my question. He's going to get reinserted. But do you see Adam Pearce? Because I think this is going to keep continuing. I like where this is going.
It's good.
It's going to keep continuing. My thing is, do you see Adam Pearce double-crossing Braun Breaker and entering in the Rumble at number 1?
No, he can't be number 1.
Who's number 1?
Cody.
Oh, Cody. Well, number 2, I guess.
I can see that happening.
Start him off early. That way he gets himself tired. Overall, what do you think?
I feel like it could happen. Honestly, dude, you know what? I was having a conversation with our uncle, old man. Shout out. Here's my thought on that. He gave me an idea. He said he thinks Gunther's going to win the Rumble.
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I just don't see that.
And I mean, he said why? He said Gunther has so much heat. You wanted to build the heat because you have him like literally with natural heat. Remember with kind of with Dom. This is that kind of heat that he's having. He's going to put him to the top. Excuse me, apologize. And make him be just more of a threat. I can see it. However, though, I also can see Braun winning it. I remember how everyone kept saying this is a year of Sammy. I feel like this could be the year of Braun.
So here's the thing, though.
But I do see that Braun's going to be number 2. I do see that one.
So there's a lot of speculation. The issue is with Drew being the champion, things have changed. I could see that earlier, but with Drew being the champion, I feel like this mixes the whole thing. Because I don't think it's going to be Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
That was scratched last minute.
Dave Meltzer did make a report on this, and lately Dave Meltzer's been hitting that out of the park, so I kind of do believe him. So now that being said, I think this just changes a lot of things, and the Rumble's up for take. I don't know if Gunther's going to win. I don't know if Braun Breaker's going to win. I kind of see now more than ever Sami Zayn actually winning because it makes more sense since he's on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre is the champion on SmackDown. He is the heel. Sami Zayn is the face. this could be finally Sami Zayn Cinderella story. It makes more sense for him to win it at Saudi and go on to face Drew at the main event of WrestleMania for that feel-good moment that we kind of been glamoring for quite a while for him to finally win a championship, the big one out of all champions.
Yeah.
But it's up for take. This whole Drew McIntyre being champion did mix it up. I'm gonna say this. That's all I'm gonna say about the Rumble till next week. It's gonna be go down to the wire. It's gonna get your big four, and we'll see since then who takes it home.
Yeah.
To WrestleMania. A lot of things could happen between here and then. We still got 2 weeks away for that. But it's gonna get interesting. It really is. You know what else is interesting is this whole Judgment Day thing going on Raw.
Yeah.
Now so they're all chasing titles.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Dom is out for a period of time. While Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez are going for the tag team gold. Now they're being best friends.
Really good besties. I heard a little pep talk they had.
And they're saying, I didn't trust you. But
I
now
thought
I
you were like a snake. I was like, dang, like, tell me exactly what you thought of her from the beginning. Dang, poor girl.
But yeah, now they're on the same page, and now they're going to go for the tag team titles. And also, Raquel is going to go eventually when Stephanie Vaquer is back to 100. She's going to go after that title. And we also have Finn Balor in the mix trying to go for his own World Heavyweight title.
Which is well deserved in his time.
I don't know if he'll ever get to that point. I
hope he does, because he deserves it, man, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think that time has ended. Because, look, in the end, I think Finn Balor's more of a journeyman at this point of his career. He just hasn't really gotten that momentum back. Look, tonight, all right, let's go with the main event. We could talk about more Raw as we go later on tonight. But for the main event, we did get CM Punk versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor did bring out his own theme song, which was kind of nice to see. The crowd went crazy. This is the closest we're going to get to his hometown. And the crowd went wild. It was great to see. The atmosphere was awesome. Overall, Drew was a home favorite. Punk did get cheered, but he did get booed as well. The match itself was good. The match itself was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it. For a main event of Raw, this should be happening every single week instead of the whole Vision ending the whole segment type of thing where the Vision stands strong and the babyface get attacked. There's something like that to the mix. This is how Monday Night Raw should end every single week with the banger. So that being said, we did see Finn Balor come short and CM Punk retaining the title. During the end, we did see Finn Balor and CM Punk have a moment to themselves where CM Punk extended the hand, afterwards left, but came back to give him a hug. They hugged it out. Finn left the ring, and as he was leaving the ring, he looked back. And at this point, I'm not going to lie, I thought he was going to go back inside and attack CM Punk. But he just looked, and that's it. Nothing much of it. Okay, so you got any theories on Judgment Day and Finn Balor going forward? I'll let you go first because I got my theories.
I think Finn's about to go face.
Okay.
I can see it. I can see maybe like by Mania, Finn starts going face. Because he kind of tying it to the Maxine Dupree Becky Lynch match. I was talking to Michal because we're watching Raw. She's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Here's the thing. You're supposed to get cheered because you're the hometown. Remember, she is Irish. She did not get cheered. At first, she got cheered, but then towards the end with the match with Maxine, she was getting booed like nonstop. Maxine was more over. Finn was over at home. That should tell you the fact that with those little moments, WWE is going to be like, all right, cool, let's start either breaking up Judgment Day or bringing someone in to replace Finn. And I can see that happening.
I don't think they're going to replace. I think in general, this is just a breakup. And I'll tell you why. You're starting to see the cracks. You saw it tonight, and you saw it through this segment as we're chasing after the gold. They're all going to fail. Every single one of them. So, tag teams, women's tag team, that's a failed. They're not going to win. If anything, the titles are going to be retained come that match itself. I don't see Judgment Day taking that home. All right? Finn Balor came up short. Does he get another title match? Who knows
We
when?
hope he does. I hope he does.
But I don't think he's ever going to win the title, unfortunately. I think he's going to come up short. And yes, eventually he will turn face when he starts seeing that the people that supposedly have his back don't really have his back like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic Mysterio, when he comes back, he will lose those titles.
Mm-hmm.
He will lose both of them. When he's healthy, when he comes back, that would be his downfall. Both titles will be gone from his arms and waist. So Raquel, once Stephanie is back healthy, I don't see her beating Stephanie back here at all. They're all going to come short. They're all going to fight each other because they already have little by little every week. They're all going to crack and eventually separate on their own. Some might go with them, some might go here, and some might just be by themselves. But little by little, you're going to see the cracks, and Judgment Day's finally going to be over. And I think it's well deserved and well timed that Judgment Day does break up because this has been a long run. It's gotten stale. All right, let's go. Yeah, so Judgment Day overall, I just don't see it getting passed by WrestleMania. I think it's about time it's just disbanded, disown it. Let's move on. Look, a good run, but nothing should last forever. You know, it's like the whole
Line, NWO, everything.
it's really the NWO formula. It's good. It's good. It's great. It revolutionized the game. But you put so much out there, different versions of it. It's never going to beat the original. And this is how I feel with this Judgment Day. Look, the original was great. Afterwards, what we got was great too, but it never lived up to the original. Okay? Too much of a thing is a, you know, it's not always a good thing. Yes. So overall, I see it disbanding finally by Mania. I am actually glad if that's the case. But if they don't build up from anything from here to now, and they let it be like they always do.
I see a lot of charisma affected by that too.
Yeah. What's your other opinions on this?
I feel like either Liv's gonna betray Raquel, Raquel's gonna betray Liv. I mean, not Raquel. Well, actually, I feel like Raquel, but I also feel like Roxanne is gonna like be in that mix.
Roxanne Perez.
Yeah,
Maybe she is the snake. Maybe she
she
does.
was called the snake. She was called this. She was called that. So I was like, all right, cool. And I mean, you kind of saw her face, like, oh, she thought it was on this. Cool.
But Finn Balor did bring her in.
Yeah.
So maybe Finn still stays the heel, but he stays as the dominant heel that he had a plan this whole time. You know, he wanted to break up Judgment Day because he wanted to build his own
Form, his own faction.
his own version of Balor Club, obviously.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna be interested to see how this plays out in the next couple of weeks. If we start seeing finally the cracks play out, but if we really don't, and this goes nowhere once again, and we have another year of Judgment Day, this might be the dumb WWE already starting. But I don't know. That's all I could say. One more thing. Did you see the segment of Bayley and Lyra in the back when they were talking about how Lyra's like, I let you down, Bayley, and Bayley's like, no. You didn't do anything. We're a team, you know? We both made mistakes. And as soon as they talk about the Rumble, saying, Bayley's like, you know, if either one of us wins this Rumble, we'll be happy for each other. Right?
Yeah.
And then Lyra looks at Bayley, gives her like kind of a weird look, and then said, yes, I'll be happy for you. And it kind of seems like Lyra's not all there with Bayley right now. That Lyra might actually go heel.
I hope she does.
It'll be interesting to see. I will like this version of Lyra because it would be really nice to see this. I'm gonna wait and see what happens in the future for that one.
I think she needs a character change though. I feel like the fans are not really behind her as a face. Don't get me wrong, she has a cool entrance, she knows this and that, but it's like I feel like if you're being paired here, there, doing this so randomly, and you don't have a direction, fans are no longer going to connect with you, and the fans have not been connecting with her for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
and unfortunately, her injuries have not been helping her.
This whole international tour has been helping her a little bit because she does get a good pop out here. But when she comes back to the States, I don't see that happening so much. So a heel turn will do her justice.
Mm-hmm.
for his career. And it's still early. If she wants to establish herself more as a face down the line, she can. But how about just let's test the waters? Maybe she's a better heel than she is a face. I would love to see it, and I'm excited to see it.
Personally, this is me personally. I've always loved Natty Neidhart as a heel more than a face.
Oh yeah.
So maybe Lyra could be the next Natty, and Lyra could be the person where it's like, look, man, I just want to be a heel. I'm good face here and there for about 4 or 5 months, but I love heel work even better.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right, let's talk about some other news. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yep.
Okay, so it's been reported that Powerhouse Hobbs has left AEW on Wednesday, last Wednesday to be exact, at midnight. His contract was expiring. And it was rumors that Tony Khan did toss him a lot of money to stay with AEW, but he rejected it and said, look, Tony, I'm sorry, but I kind of want to try the waters on the other side of the pond. And I want to go to WWE. So WWE has been interested in Powerhouse Hobbs for quite a while. Mm-hmm. Before he made his big debut on AEW back in the day, they did reach out to them. They wanted to sign him, but he's turned them down to go to AEW at the time. Overall, his career in AEW has been, I want to say it's pretty good. I'm not going to say it's great. I want to say it's mid. He has mid-career. He's been on the top for, a few times in a couple of matches, faced some of the best, Moxley, Hangman, Ricky Saints, he's been with top wrestlers of the promotion. But overall, he's never reached that status as main eventer, I feel like. He has potential. I always like Powerhouse Hobbs. I always think he could have been that guy in AEW to be the powerhouse of the brand. He has the look. He has pretty good skills. He's a beast in the ring. Yeah. His moveset is awesome. I mean, why not? His mic skills, maybe not the great, but it's not bad either. So that's the thing. Warlord had a good chance to be AEW's primetime main eventer, destroyer. But of course, that did not happen. And look at his career now. Fortunately, he did suffer an injury and he's out for quite a while. But who knows if things would have played differently and he would have been a main eventer. All this stuff, he may have never gotten injured in the future. Mm-hmm. It made it played out well. He might have been a 3-time champ by now, and he might have been the face of AEW. And he was a really good wrestler. It's just that Tony Khan does not like his big guys eventually. He likes them, but he doesn't like him to be the main eventers, It's like you have to have a preference of little guys, mid guys, powerhouses.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This one kind of hurt because I like Powerhouse Hobbs. I like the things he do in AEW for quite a while. So let's just speak about this. Collusion was in the same night taping as Dynamite. So he did lost his trio titles with Samoa Joe and Igaba. What's his name? Ichaba. I'm having difficulties saying that name. But he lost his title and he got pinned by Kevin Knight. So at least he put Kevin Knight over. Yeah. And that's kind of like the future of AEW right there is Kevin. Technical difficulties once again. Real quick comments.
Couple comments. Nick, why you doing, brother? Powerhouse. He's saying Powerhouse Hobbs versus Braun Breaker.
That would be a good match. So that's the thing. It depends where Powerhouse Hobbs lands on. Could he land on the NXT brand like everybody expects him? Or do you think he's ready for the main event and he lands on Raw or SmackDown? I don't think he's that bad off. I think he could land on the main event. I really do think his wrestling skills are right there for the main event TV. But that's the thing. It's up to Triple H to decide where he wants him to place him at the time. If he goes to NXT, I could see him having. Sorry, a little technical difficulties with the internet. So I could see him having a little, feud going on with Ricky Saints or partnering up with Ricky Saints in NXT. They do know each other. They did have, history before in AEW, and maybe they mentioned that on NXT because they're not shy away to mention other promotions. They call it the other promotion. They take a lot of jabs to AEW, so I can see them probably having some sort of feud or some sort of, potential tag team with Ricky Saints. What do you think?
I feel like he's going to do something with Ricky Saints, but I also feel like he's going to debut at the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
And let's put it, talent-wise, yes, he can go to the main event. However, once it starts to cut promos, we both know he's not the best right now on the mic.
He doesn't have to be, because in the end, his look speaks for himself sometimes.
Don't get me wrong. I 100% understand where you're coming from. Eventually, though, they're going to cut a promo on him. And if he's not ready, what's going to happen? All that look is not going to matter anything.
So,
because of if you can't walk the walk, why can you can't even talk the talk? You know what I mean?
But here's this as you looking at him as the main of SmackDown or Raw, or are we looking at this as a mid-carder? Because a mid-carder doesn't have to speak much.
Mm-hmm.
His looks speak for himself. So yes, he could probably get buried on the mic, but it doesn't affect his character because he's a mid-carder. That depends on Powerhouse Hobbs and what he wants. Obviously, he left AEW for a reason because he saw potential in himself and he wanted to take a gamble, so he left the smaller promotion to finally go to the bigger promotion, the promotion we all dream of as a kid, Good on him for taking a gamble.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Do you really think he needs mic skills when his look speaks for himself? And he's not bad on the mic either. He's just not on that level of main eventer. So,
but WWE loves the big guys. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but WWE loves the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it was super random, but Nick said he can have a wise man. I was actually going to go with something here. If he doesn't have a wise man, you could have him actually go for a Batista kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
So Batista, remember, dude, Batista didn't have the greatest promos of all time. Batista didn't have the ground shattering, promos that made us say, "Oh, snaps!" It wasn't that kind of stuff. It was one-liners. Dude, I will never forget the promo where he said, "This $1 million body is about to kick your ass." It's all that stuff is dude, your one-liners are gonna work. If you could work that with Powerhouse Hobbs, it could actually propel him to the top.
Well, he could be like Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was not a good speaker.
Still is not.
Yeah, when he was on the mic, he just didn't have it.
It's because they try to make him away from Batista. Because Batista was already that person. So Bobby Lashley was the kind of where it's all right, we're going to make you kind of articulate. We're going to make you actually more. We're going to have you try to do a promo. And it didn't work.
Give me what I want. Yeah.
But you see what I'm trying to say? Dude, it's those little, one quick little lines. Dude, you know what I came back for? Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. And dude, Powerhouse Hobbs has that right now in his hands because there's no one in WWE that has that.
Okay, so you talk about. So here's the thing. I don't think he debuts on Royal Rumble. You want to know why? To the casual fans, I don't think they know who he is.
Nah.
So that's the thing. You're going to Saudi.
Yeah.
There's no way
never mind.
He's going to get a loud pop in Saudi Arabia.
Off the internet for you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So it's put it this way. The casual fans have no idea who he is. I don't think he's going to get a reaction at the Rumble, especially in Saudi. It's just not going to happen. There's no point to debut him at the Rumble because the crowd's going to go mild, and there you go. You just blew out a debut. It makes more sense to him to appear in NXT or at some point into a feud. I would say on SmackDown. I think SmackDown really needs more star power, and it makes more sense for him to debut there. Maybe, just maybe, and hear me out. He's Cody's enforcer in case Cody finally turns heel this year. And they have history together.
Mm-hmm.
They're, the other promotion's friends. They have history. Powerhouse Hobbs under Cody's wing will look great on TV. So let's just talk about this. we do have a lot that went down on SmackDown
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of promos out there that kind of teases that Cody might just turn heel. We have never solved the fact that who attacked Jacob Fatu backstage that made him lose the tooth.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of speculations out there that this might be Cody Rhodes. Because if you notice in his promos, he says, remember, Jacob, I'm going to keep a receipt. So he's going after Jacob Fatu. And we did see that. They went at it and they went back and forth. So he enters himself in the Rumble. He didn't like it. He got booed. He's not getting a great reaction. His character failed. He might have, I think he might have attacked Jacob Fatu for the reason of is that he sees him as a threat. And he framed Drew McIntyre because he sees him as a threat. Key line in that promo is where maybe Drew McIntyre is better than me. It's telling you that he sees them as a threat. So how do you eliminate the threat? Fighting each other, making them hate each other. The issue is it backfired on them. It made him lose the title. And this might be the version of Cody Rhodes that we finally get the American Nightmare's true identity out. What do you think overall?
So, a couple comments was kind of ties in with my point. So, Nick says maybe Powerhouse Hobbs needs to go to NXT. If he ends up being Cody's enforcer, then Cody might build a new heel faction. But I think WWE might drop the Mystery Man angle with Fatu. I don't think they're going anywhere with it.
I don't know. That's the thing. If they drop it, then why have Fatu in the mix right now?
Yeah.
Why have him go after Drew and Cody and have this whole triangle thing going on? Eventually, this has to be revealed. Nick, I agree with you in a lot of things. And WWE has dropped the ball on a lot of things last year. I think this is one angle that might stick. Reason why, I feel like backstage, all those wrestlers right now are pushing that angle to continue on. Because look, they pushed for Drew McIntyre to win the title, and it happened. That's a good start. We have new writers on SmackDown, and it kind of shows. I'm not saying last week's SmackDown was the greatest. It was a lot better than SmackDowns of the past.
I remember like the last year.
Yeah, and it was a lot better overall. It's getting better. Road Dogg is not in charge of it, thank God. And the storylines just seem to connect a little bit more. So I think they might just pick it up, and I think we might just get the reveal probably after the Rumble.
That's what I was probably.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see. If they drop it, I think it's a big mistake because it doesn't make sense why you still include Fatu and give him no reason why he's interfering between Cody and Drew without revealing the mystery attacker. But that's just my theory. I would like to see Powerhouse Hobbs in the main event, but that makes more in the main event shows, and that would make a lot more sense for him to be Cody's enforcer. Now, is NXT a good fit for him? Yes, 100%. I think he does well on that brand, and it develops more skills for him. But I just don't think he's that, bad to be on TV at this point. I think he's a good fit. I think he's a good mid-carder right now.
How much between us, you did say the Powerhouse Hobbs is. You did say the fact that he's known, and a lot of fans do know him. So maybe he comes in if he does debut on SmackDown. It's going to be the Friday after Mania, because I feel like that's when Cody's going to be turning heel around that time,
which would be a nice surprise for all of us.
Super nice surprise for all of us.
Because sorry to cut you off.
No, you go ahead.
So here's the thing: the Mania, the Raw after Mania is most likely going to be located in Vegas.
Yeah.
So in Vegas, you're going to have all your hardcore wrestling fans that attended the night before on Mania going to the Raw afterwards. So he's going to get the loudest pop of the night there because there's going to be a lot of hardcore fans on top of casual fans. But the ones that are shelling out those high prices are the hardcore fans. Yeah. So they're going to know who he is most likely. And knowing WWE, eventually when they do sign him for a contract, because I don't think they've done it yet, no. I think it's going to happen pretty soon, but they're going to throw a little bit of buzz out there. They're going to have something leaked to Dave and to the dirt sheets and all of those guys. Mm-hmm. And the buzz is going to continue on, and then people are going to be like, who's this Powerhouse Hobbs? Mm-hmm. Who is this guy? Let's search him up. And when they see this guy, they see what he did in AEW, they see his past, it's going to build up. And eventually it's going to get some buzz. And when he finally does appear, it's going to create a loud buzz.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he shows up in NXT quickly, all right, good for them. Because eventually a lot of them are getting called up. So, especially with Trick being gone from NXT and called up in the main roster, yeah, you still need to fill in that void. So he's a good fit there, but you could also play this out really well in the main show. Time will tell. I'm excited. I can see why he left AEW. Am I heartbroken? Because I like seeing him every week on TV. I like seeing him with the Ops, with Samoa Joe, in the storyline that's going on right now. I like seeing him there. I just a little heartbroken, but to me overall, this is a good move for him. And his future with no data.
I don't know.
Just a little off.
Turn off the Wi-Fi from your phone.
Hotspot. Yeah, so regardless, I could see this happening. I don't know. Any other thoughts? Do you see this as a good move for Powerhouse?
I feel like it's a great move for Powerhouse, dude. Honestly, dude, it's a really good move. And let's put it, dude. If you really wanted to release, cool. You could. You know what, dude? Fucking do it at Mania. Do it at Mania, dude. Really surprise the shit out of us. Dude, like, let's put it. If Cody starts going heel and Cody starts actually like moving towards that to really push the envelope, you do it at Mania.
Well, why have him win? What if? But that depends what
saying,
he's inserted.
I'm not saying he's going to win.
Cody,
I'm saying I'm not saying Cody's going to win. But let's put it. Cody's going for some random just title, whatever. Cody's going for nothing.
Cody's not going to go for nothing.
I'm just saying, whatever, right?
He's the John Cena of our era. He's not going to go for nothing. He's going to go for the main event title scene. Doesn't make sense for Powerhouse Hobbs to debut there and then not have Cody win. I don't see Cody winning anything this year.
Here's where I'm coming from, though. I feel like Cody, if he was to go against Drew, right? Let's put it, he wins the Elimination Chamber and goes against Drew.
Okay.
Or, you know what, though, dude? It doesn't win the chamber, but Fatu comes out and starts beating him up and starts stopping him every single time. It's like, why do you keep attacking, Cody? Because I was shown this and shows a video, shows the angle. Cody attacks him. Yeah, I did it. So what? I did it. I was the one who attacked you because of this, and this. Whatever, doesn't matter. But I attacked you. All right, cool. Then let's go on Mania. Me versus you. Blah blah blah. This and that. And that's what's like. Cody's getting beat up, and then you go to the old school heel tactics. Get that one big guy just comes in, ramsacks Jacob. You're not burying Jacob at the same time, but you're helping out Cody, and you're actually helping out Cody heel Cody be a good threat to the company. If that makes sense.
I get that. I do. I just don't see Cody Rhodes as a mid-carder this year. I don't see Cody Rhodes ever as a mid-carder.
No, he's never going to be a mid-carder.
So I just don't see that working at all. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying it's a bad idea if we were a creative team. The issue is I don't see it happening. We do got a couple of comments, by the way.
Nick says on WWE Unreal Season 2
releases today, and I'm actually going to check that out this week. And we're probably going to get a little quick review next week of it. I'm excited to see it. I don't like breaking kayfabe, but I am interested to see what Triple H puts in front of us. His big-ass face probably opening up the show tonight if we watch episode 1.
I want to talk about my time here.
I'm still main event of the show.
I want to talk about my wife. I feel Cody will stay face with a slight edge.
I can see that too. Maybe he colors his hair black and give us that little hint that it's coming,
Cody versus Fatu is WrestleMania main event with or without a title. The next decides to also say that ball fraud.
How is Cody and Fatu main event? I don't see it being the main event. I see it as being a mid card. Or do you mean it has main event caliber? It's kind of like the CM Punk and
main event caliber.
It's kind of like the CM Punk and Undertaker where, Punk wanted the main event, didn't get it, but people kept telling them that it was the main event caliber. You guys stole the show. I can see him steal the show. I don't see it happening though. I really do see Cody being inserted in the title scene just for the name, just because he's really the next Cena. Maybe he's the next Cena with the edge, I guess. What else we got?
Because Fatu and Cody are both main event talent. That match is a WrestleMania level main event.
So it's a main event caliber.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So are we actually thinking this is gonna happen? Fatu and Cody Rhodes, I guess.
I think so, dude. Me and Nick are kind of on the same page. Hey, what's up, brother?
I'm sorry. I just don't.
So then, what do you think is going to happen? Cody's not going to win the Rumble. Let's be straight up honest. Cody's not winning the Rumble.
He's going to win the Chamber. He's going to get heat. He's going to win the Chamber. And then from there, he's going to go on into a triple threat for whoever wins the Rumble this year against Drew McIntyre. Or let's just say the guy who wins the Rumble is a Raw guy. Right? Goes to face, let's say it's Braun Breaker. Goes to face CM Punk one more time in Mania. All right, you got that there. What if it's Drew, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu for a triple threat match for the main event title? Here's the one thing. WWE likes to always put a triple threat match.
They really do.
Every year.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They really do.
Last year?
Triple threat.
Yeah.
And before? Triple threat.
So that's the thing. It's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna happen one more time. But here's the thing. I don't see them putting the strap on Fatu. Not at all. I don't know why. I just don't have a good feeling of that. Cody's not gonna win. It has to be Drew retaining. I feel like Drew's gonna walk away high, as he should, because he did nothing wrong. No, he never did anything wrong. He's getting blamed. He's getting the short end of the stick for years.
Dude,
and in storyline. So
career-wise and storyline, dude. Because I mean, he did carry the company during COVID.
So I just see Drew coming up high, and I could see Drew McIntyre, Fatu, and Cody Rhodes going at it throughout the next couple of. We're good. Don't worry. Read the comments first.
Okay, couple comments. Because Drew versus Roman is likely. I don't like 3-ways for WWE for a WWE title match. Both of them are from Nick.
I don't mind a 3-way. I don't want a 3-way every single year. Only when it matters.
It's running its course.
Yeah, it's like at some point too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Yeah.
It is gonna get stale. I feel like this is where we're gonna head to with a lot of things that WWE is gonna do is rinse and repeat. And we're at this point where we probably will get a triple threat match, which we all don't want. Because I don't think we're gonna get Roman versus Cody at Mania. And that's another good question. Where is Roman in all this now?
Well, Nick just said that it's Drew versus Roman.
So Roman wins the Rumble.
Or Roman could even win the Chamber.
I see him more winning the Rumble this year. I don't see him winning the Chamber. That's a whole mystery. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. There's a lot of questions to be asked in the next couple of weeks, and we'll find out.
Actually, during the week, because the Rumble's actually next week Saturday.
Next week Saturday, not this week.
No,
so 2 weeks. Yeah,
literally.
So like I said, but we're talking about a couple of weeks, because even then we still got the Chamber and everything else.
Yep.
Yeah. So next couple of weeks is going to be crazy. Alrighty. So let's talk about this. AMC is now home to TNA Wrestling. Alrighty. I watched this premiere, and
what do you think?
Well, let's put it this way. I always liked TNA. Even at their downfall years, I still watched it. I enjoyed it. Even though the clusterfuck of a mess it was, the LOL TNA era, it was bad, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for these smaller promotions.
Yeah.
Because like I said, more promotions, the better, the whole competition
100%.
gets. I don't like seeing a company go under. I don't wish any company goes under, but it happens. TNA is like a fucking cockroach. No matter what, it never get killed. So overall, they did debut on AMC. So we started off. Well, let's just put it this way. There's a lot to talk about, and I'm trying to get my thoughts because I'm gonna just tell you straight up. It was a clusterfuck of a mess. It was really bad. Not a good debut. So we start off TNA with the phenomenal one, AJ Styles coming out with his old TNA theme song. And the crowd goes crazy.
Yep.
And he cuts a little promo talking about the future of TNA, that he's AJ Styles, and TNA is the house that he built. But he's like, I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about the future. And you know what? I got to get out of here because I want the future to start now. The matches and all. And my ass was like, no, please stay. Build up to something, because like I'm thinking to myself, why did you just come here to make a quick announcement? It's like the time where I don't know if you remember the story. Dixie Carter got contacted to get basically Ric Flair to go to their Hall of Fame. So in exchange, they could have any wrestler besides John Cena and Taker. And Dixie's like, well, I want Christian. And so Christian went out there and it looked like he didn't want to be there. So this kind of looked like AJ just wanted to make his commitment appearance and just walk out of there right away. I felt like they should have built to something. And yes, we did have a lot of backstage segments. And we did got him peeping at the title at some point to freaking Kazarian throughout the night. Kind of give you the hint that maybe I got one more run in me to go after that title once again. That was the closest thing we got. But there was just not much buildup with AJ at all being in the show, and I felt like they should have been. Because he really was the main star of the night. After that, we did get some action. We get the Hardys wrestling, and I thought it was a decent match. It was pretty good. Towards the end as well, they got attacked, and they got attacked pretty bad. Overall, I think that whole first couple of minutes of the segment was pretty good. What else we got? Comments real quick.
A quick comment from Nick. We might see Randy versus Trick Williams and Gunther versus Finn Balor at Mania.
Yeah, we could see that. There's a lot to come for WrestleMania. So going forward, that was our first match. After that, we got a bunch of segments. One of the segments was, for some reason, we did get at some point Santino Marella coming out, and we did get Sonya Deville appearing out of nowhere with a new name. Look, I don't know much, but why did you bring her back into the company once, she got let go as a manager somewhere else? I don't make any sense of this. I get it in storyline that they're trying to fix things, with Santino Marella and her daughter, and the daughter's just going crazy. But I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go with. I don't like it. She did introduce Cora Jade. I think her name is Elena Black now.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see her come back, but the crowd just went absolutely mild. What do you think overall of this direction?
I feel like Cora Jade she's been up to nothing. But he just asked what Cora Jade's been up to. But honestly, dude, personally, dude, I'm not a big fan of it. It was a clusterfuck of an event. All it showed was like, you know what? You brought in these people for what? For mid pops. Like, you're talking about the future, and yet you bring in Sonya Deville and Cora Jade, whatever. Cora Jade. But it's like, something for what? So at this point, it's like you didn't really do much for the new talent coming up. Dude. So you started off with the banger right away. With the lead with Order 4.
I wouldn't say it was great though. I thought it was okay match, but
you start with an okay. So let's put it. You start with an okay promo from AJ Styles, which was a bogus promo, an okay match, and then you jump right away to that.
No, it wasn't that actually. Afterwards, it was Ash by Elegance.
Yeah,
with Perez Hilton. I don't know why TNA wasted their fucking money to get Perez Hilton to get a spot on the fucking show and a segment like that, which Ash by Elegance. So Ash by Elegance went against the Inspiration, which they were formerly known as the Iconics, for the women's tag team title. They ended up picking up the win. And at that point, not soon after, we did get an announcement that the Inspiration is out of TNA. So that was their last match. They dropped the titles, and now they're gone from TNA completely, which is just odd because they did express interest of staying, but all of a sudden, they wanted to express their interest somewhere else. Really odd that happened on their premiere night. But yes, Ash by Elegance went to the segment afterwards with Perez fucking Hilton. Out of all fucking people, why do we need this guy to waste our wrestling time on TV? What was it for? Because that night for some reason, we had a bunch of YouTubers come out with the wrestlers, which made no fucking sense. We got D-list celebrities in the crowd. I don't know who these people are. The only one I know is Candice Michelle. But even then, what is she doing there in the TNA show? She's never been in TNA. There were just segments after segments after segments that just wasted time. And we only had 3 matches throughout the whole 2 hours of a show. For a wrestling show called Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, it was more like Total Nonstop Segment Wrestling. It was ridiculous. 3 matches for a 2-hour show. Okay?
How many commercials did it have?
Regardless, put it this way. You know how bad this debut was? Their TNA Plus actually crashed 5 minutes into the start of it. And there was reports that they couldn't get it back to broadcast. So it missed out. Those people that pay for TNA Plus and don't have cable did not get to watch the show at all the rest of the night. That is a bad debut. And their whole setup. Look, you signed a deal with AMC. I'm sure you got a couple of dollars underneath the table. You know what I mean? Not underneath, on the contract. You're telling me that the whole setup, you can't do better than a fucking gym class setup? I mean, like the whole entrance, the whole look of it, it just did not look like primetime TV. And they did a lot of hard cams section throughout the show because they didn't sell out, unfortunately. It did not look good on TNA this night. It was a clusterfuck of a mess. There was too many segments, too many issues, and none of it made sense. It really didn't. Let's read a couple of comments before we get more of opinions on ourselves.
Number one, Total Studs because I was talking about Cora Jade and Sonya Deville, or something Black, Eliana Black and whatever.
Daria,
thank you, Daria Ray. Imagine if they pulled some kind of screw job angle with them not wanting to drop the titles, and even though it was going to be their last night in the company, so basically they don't drop the titles at the end. It was a team move, WWE, PLE. They learned from WWE's mistakes and decided to implement those same mistakes. 3 matches in 2 hours with commercial after commercial.
So you're not wrong, Nick. I would call it a Timo. WWE, I would call it a diet. WWE, they're trying to be like WWE in general. Look, TNA is always special. Look, TNA before they linked up with WWE was pretty good. I like TNA. I like who they were, their identity. I felt like they were climbing back the ladder slowly. And once they got their partnership with WWE, I thought it was a good idea. But it looks like little by little, they're getting influenced by WWE. They're trying to copy and paste that style. But the issue is they don't have the fundings for the backup. Not even one bit. So do you feel like a diet version of WWE is not working well with 3 matches throughout the whole night? You got to be fucking kidding me. This is not the Total Nonstop Action. It just doesn't make any sense of it. I don't understand what they were thinking. It was a really bad debut. I don't know how to put it more than that.
I didn't watch it, but from what I've read everywhere, no one gave it a good ovation.
Well, a lot of places gave it like a 1 out of 5 star.
Yeah.
A lot of negative.
Bleach Report gave it like a D or a C something.
They gave it a D. There's no way it gave it a C. Nobody gave it a C. Not even close. There's a lot of bad negative review. We also got one comment from Moose himself after the whole reviews, after the whole negativities. Moose himself gave this opinion on his Twitter and says, "Look, let's just put it this way. Let me give you the AI version of this. Look, if you're not in the industry, why comment? You know, we all have opinions, but if you're not in the industry, you're not in the field, you're not a wrestler, you've never been through that grind, comment negative stuff. You know, too much negativity is not a good thing. And during this little thing, he did call out JD from NY. And that's the YouTuber, the famous wrestling YouTuber that shouts a lot. I love JD NY, by the way. I love his content. I think he's great. I think he's funny. But he did call out JD NY. And I did remember JD NY's criticism of TNA. And he did say that it looked like this whole show was like shot on an iPhone camera that night. That's how bad the production was. It just didn't make any sense why it was this bad. But the whole Moose comment saying that we shouldn't, criticize their show just because we've never been in the business doesn't make sense. It's like me going to a restaurant, eating, I don't know, let's just say the waiter messed up my pancakes, burned them. But I shouldn't comment because I've never been in the back of the kitchen at a restaurant. Or, I didn't like this video game that I bought. But I shouldn't dislike it because I never developed this video game before, It just doesn't make any sense how Moose just went about that.
Because Moose trying to stay face. Dude, let's be honest. Moose trying to stay face for the company, trying to at least save the company. Because, dude, this is a company that's signing your paycheck. You're going to go out for it. And you're going to try to say, hey, man, y'all don't understand everything we put into this. Yeah. Ads, D-list celebrities, empty spaces, and bogus segments. That's what you put into it.
I mean, I thought it was really dumb for Moose to say that.
And again, like I said, all you did was just put a bullseye on your chest to become a meme and a half. That's all you did.
Well, at this point, everybody has the right to criticize, especially wrestling fans themselves, because guess what? We're putting the money in their pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's put it this way, Moose. If we don't like the product,
we're going to complain.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's play his game. If we don't like the product and we don't have the right to complain, guess what? The next step is we won't show up. We won't buy your merch and we won't watch your product. Do you really want that? Or you rather have us complain about it? That way, maybe you guys could hear the criticism and do better.
Okay, a couple comments. Nick said WWE actually brings in celebrities that people know. One, two.
yeah, not the D-list celebrities. I didn't know who the hell these guys were. I know. Well, put it this way: I know some of them were part of the AMC shows, but I never heard of them. I don't even know what AMC has anymore. The last thing I knew that AMC has, The Walking Dead. I think Mad Men were part of that.
I thought so too.
Yeah, but that was years ago. I don't know who these D-list celebrities were, but I'm sure it's like the whole Netflix with WWE. It's like, hey, look, you got to show these guys because they're part of our shows. Show off this and so actor. Okay, that makes sense. At least Netflix has a big platform. AMC doesn't. Nobody knows who the hell they were. Nobody knows why Candice Michelle was there for what reason. At this point, I mean, I know Eric Young was there. Mm-hmm. And yes, he was an old TNA,
but
day
it
one.
Makes sense because he was.
Well, he's still there, but it makes sense for him to be on the crowd overall because he's day one TNA. He was big in TNA. But where was the rest of these guys? Where was the rest of these legends that they could have been there? And even then, at some point, I think I remember seeing in the crowd Eric Young once again. He looked bored as hell. He looked like he didn't want to be there either.
I remember Raw's 20th anniversary with Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler when they were falling asleep.
What else we got?
That's ridiculous. If I go to a restaurant and the food is trash, I have an opinion on it, and the point is for the restaurant to make it better.
But that's the thing. Moose says we have no right to say that, which makes no sense. At that point, we don't go to a restaurant. We don't eat their food. We don't put money in their hands.
Or their pocket.
In their pockets. And at that point, they go out of business.
Yep.
I guess that's what Moose wants. Woody Stooge, agreed.
I wish Kurt Angle made an appearance.
That would have made more sense. I felt like that could have been possible for Kurt Angle. Because in the end of the day, when you think of TNA, you think of guys like Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Sting, Christian, which you're not going to get Christian.
Or Samoa Joe.
Well, you're not going to get those guys, but you could get Bobby Roode, which he's in WWE.
Yeah.
He's one of the creatives there.
The Monster Abyss.
The Monster Abyss. Perfect. Would have been a perfect appearance. You could have some legends come in, for God's sakes.
If you wanted to do so many segments, you could have.
Yeah, honestly, they fumbled the ball. They could have made this a lot bigger. This could have made because they're trying to go for the number 2 promotion now. They have potential. I'm not gonna lie, but this is not a good start. It's gonna take a lot to recover from this because this threw a lot of people off from TNA that haven't watched a show and started now because they're debuting in AMC. With this type of rating, they're all moving out again. You know, it's not gonna happen overall.
Nick. Imagine Triple H sitting front row.
He wouldn't last. He wouldn't. He doesn't go to the D-list shows. He doesn't even show up in NXT anymore.
He really doesn't. He's having a rare appearance.
So I'll put it this way: not a good start. What's your overall opinions of this?
I hope they bounce back. I really do hope they bounce back. And Moose, please shut up. Please shut up.
The only highlight, and even then, it wasn't as great as it should have been, would have been freaking Kazarian versus Santana for the world title, TNA world title, a rematch, and a move that should never have happened. Santana should have never lost his title that quick. It made no business sense, and it still doesn't. But they went at it. It was a decent match. I'm not going to say it was the best match. I mean, these two men did try. And I give them credit. They're both great talents. Freaking Kazarian is going to be a TNA Hall of Famer pretty soon. I mean, the guy is just great. But they did all their best. But I think it was just too late at that point at the end of the night. And one thing during that match that made no sense is when Santana hits a code red on freaking Kazarian. And no one's ever kicked out of it. And so when he hit the code red, the crowd went crazy. It cheered. And somehow freaking Kazarian kicks out. After that, I kid you not, the crowd went mild. And when he hit the code red once again, Santana, on freaking Kazarian, the crowd had no reaction. It felt like they killed the crowd in the beginning during that code red, and that was it. Unfortunately, it was kind of a botched finish, I feel like. These two men tried their best. It just didn't happen for them that night. Look, I'm glad that Santana's champion, and I'm going to give this match an overall B. But they had better matches. I've seen better matches. Look, that whole... Remember when TNA went head-to-head with Raw in their first Monday Night War? That was a lot better than this shit. That was way better shit than this shit. And even then, that wasn't a bad show. They just had too much, old school WCW guys showing up in TNA. And yes, it was a clusterfuck of mess then, but this was a lot better than this clusterfuck of a mess now.
You.
Yeah, on the same group.
I was laughing at you.
So yeah, I mean, that's TNA for you. LOL TNA meme still lives on. Look, I'm gonna hope for the best, and let's just hope that it, the rest of the year goes better for them. Am I gonna watch another episode on AMC? Maybe, but not yet.
I'll do one. I'll watch one. I'll set it to record and I'll watch it and I'll give my opinion. I'll actually watch it, and it's gonna be painful, but I'm here.
What else we got here? What was the ratings for that night? You know what? I didn't even get the ratings yet.
I don't know.
But with this new Nissan rating system, it's not going to be a lot. A lot of people are predicting that it's going to beat out AEW Dynamite. Look, I can see Collision maybe as a debut. But that's going to be hard. And after this, I really don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Look, at this point, I don't see it being number 2 promotion at all, beating Dynamite.
Can they? Yes.
And maybe in about 3 years from now.
And you know what? Let's put it. You have only one way to go from here, and it's up. I'm looking at the positive side. I'm going to say you only have one way to go from here, and it's up.
Okay, so let's talk about this then. All right. No. So put it this way. If that's the case, what is the positive for TNA right now when they're losing a lot of talents on top of this? Look at the talents that have left TNA over the years. Some of the top talent has left the company. Joe Henry,
Next favorite.
Jordan Grace, Alexander, Ace Austin that's in AEW now, and I have no fucking idea where he's at. And that was one of my favorite wrestlers in TNA. And I thought this guy was going to have a bright future when he went out of TNA. I thought he was going to head to NXT, but apparently he went to AEW route, and now he's lost in the South. But yet he has left. All right, that's one guy. So guess what? AEW has signed the Rascals.
Yeah.
All 4 members have appeared. So that's the thing. It's like they're signing these wrestlers left and right, AEW, taking away all their talents from TNA. And WWE is going in there and taking away some of the talents. So here's the issue, though. What talents do they have left there? Yes, they have Santana, they have Frankie, they have Flop, what's his name? Flop Dollar there as well. They have a couple of guys, don't get me wrong, but Jake Something also got signed to AEW, and he had potential.
Hash by Elegance?
No, she what are you talking about? She retired.
Oh, she didn't. Right.
Yeah, I'm talking about the group.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Sash by Elegance. So Killer Kelly, I think it's one of the names that left, and it doesn't look like she's going to get signed back to TNA. It looks like she's probably going to end up in AEW and their system of a clusterfuck. But regardless, Tony Khan is taking their star power because he does see it as a threat. Whether he likes to say it or not, he does see it as a threat. But that leaves TNA in a pickle because they don't have enough star talent to really show up on these networks that people are going to be like, oh my God, look at this person, look at that person. It's really going to get bad here. I'm not saying it's going to be a great year for them. Suffer a lot.
I would say you have 6 months right now to really go forward. Again, I'm going to the positive side. You have 6 months right now to go forward. Yes, you lost Joe Henry, you lost Jordan Grace, you lost that. This one now, the inspiration. You lost a lot of people.
So here's the thing. The inspiration, they're going to probably end up going to AEW as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're not going to go to WWE. No. I think that's done with. And they're going to get, actually, it makes more sense for the inspiration to end up going to AEW because they really do need that women's tag team whole scene to amp up a bit and to give, Willow and Harley Cameron a good fight for their money. And actually, we'll probably get a good pop if they show up.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
But what is the positives? That's the thing, dude. What positives are you looking at? Because they lost a lot of star power.
At this point, it's more like, well, first, let me go read the comment from Nick because it's been there for quite some time. Maybe the bright lights were too much for them to handle. Probably could be. But again, back to what I was saying, though. I feel like right now you have the capability to actually move forward and actually jump with it to say, you know what, cool, we're going to, and you know what, AJ Styles did bring up the future. AJ Styles did bring up the future of TNA. And if right now is the moment to do it, then right now is the moment to bring up your talent from that basically is getting you there and pushing you forward. So,
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't really see it.
And I'm going to just maybe.
So you're banking on TNA to bounce back in this year?
I'm banking $1.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. So speaking about the Rascals, a little bit of controversy happens this week. So AEW has signed all 4 members of the Rascals: Zachary Wentz, Desmond Xavier, Myron Reed, and Trey Miguel. So we did see the Rascal come out in Collusion, had a little segment backstage. But guess what? We only saw 3 out of the 4, which raised a lot of eyebrows that night. And everybody was like, what happened to Trey Miguel? So here's the thing that happened to Trey Miguel here. It's been known in the past. The Rascals at some point did head. And when they did, it looked like all 4 members were going to head to NXT. But one guy, once again, did not debut there. And that was Trey Miguel. He ended up not signing to WWE. He ended up going back to TNA and doing his thing, which was great. All right. At this point, once again, he's gone. They part ways, actually. And nothing was said. A lot of people were speculating that, oh, it was a hires up. Oh, it's something from his past got pulled up and he got axed. Oh, something about he used to date MJF's girl. And now he's getting axed from MJF, which I don't think MJF really cares. But it does look like that we did get a report and an update that Trey Miguel does have some issues when it comes to mental health. And it does look like this, man. What was that? What is this women wrestler's name? Kylie Ray. The girl with the really great smile. The girl that had potential when she joined the AEW roster back in the day. She wrestles in the indies. I think she got a WWE program ID, but then she got pregnant. And it looks like she was going to go to WWE Inbound finally after the whole failure in AEW. But every time she got there, it looks like something held her back. And when she was in AEW, she left because of mental issues, anxiety, and stuff like that. I think Trey Miguel's on this route because he did say, look, I'm suffering through some stuff here and I'm going to take a break from wrestling. I'll keep you guys updated, I'll see you in the future. That's hard, man. It really is. This guy has a lot of potential. He's a great wrestler. He's a great singles run in TNA. I like seeing him as a single run. I thought he had a lot of great potential there. Maybe he goes back to TNA. But then again, out there in the big network, it might not go well for him. He might just wrestle for the indies. But that's just hard, man. Speaking of mental issues, sometimes it's just hard to pass that. When you're in the spotlight, you don't want to fail. You don't want to look bad. And when you're on TV in front of more people than ever before, sometimes it gets you.
Yeah.
So we wish Trey Miguel the best. Whatever you're going through, brother, hopefully you get through it. We just want to spend some, positivity out there. Yeah, and hopefully he gets through all this. We do got a comment.
Him and Bret Hart would find therapy useful.
Yeah, right. No, not Bret Hart. Bret Hart doesn't need therapy. I keep telling you this every week. Leave the man alone.
I do want to say though, there was one thing. He has been released from his AEW contract after initially being signed to a multi-year deal alongside the rest of the Rascals. A reason for his release was not provided, but separation was said to be on amicable terms.
Yeah, that's what we said in the beginning. He was released right away.
Oh.
Yeah. But I don't know if he was released or he asked for his release. There's not that much speaking about yet. But hopefully the rest of the Rascals does well on AEW and they don't get lost in the sauce. At this point, I do feel like Tony Khan's just signing, these TNA wrestlers left and right, just that way they don't have that competition and have to worry about. With WWE in their way, they don't want to worry about TNA going after them as well.
Yeah.
With that being said, Tony Khan's just going crazy with his pocketbook, man.
I mean, he has it. Why not?
Why not at this point? Any other more thoughts about this?
I just wish him the best, man. Honestly, mental health is not something to be taken lightly, because you could wake up one day and you're great, you're fantastic, and you're on top of the world, and the next day it's like, I don't want to be here, and it does suck. And I hope people respect Miguel's wishes, Trey Miguel's wishes, where he said he doesn't want to be tied to anything. He doesn't want you just taking a break. Let him take his break. Let him take his time off. I wish him a very speedy recovery from what he's going through. Nothing but positive eyes out there. I hope he comes back and he actually does better than what he just recently did.
Same.
Whether it's with TNA, whether it's with WWE, whether it's with AEW, whether it's just a single person come back with the Rascals, for this point, it's right now, take your time to figure out what do you want to do. Do you want to be in the spotlight? Do you want to be there? Or do you want to just say, you know what, maybe I just need to just take a step away from everything and do a little pop in here and there for the indies just to give them what they deserve.
Yep. So let's go into some retirements. So Dirty Dango, and many of you might know him as Fandango, has officially retired at Genesis against his teammate from the system, Eddie Edwards. His last match had some crazy spots. Had, nod to Chris Jericho with the Walls of Jericho at some point. Had nod to John Cena when Eddie Edwards caught him in the sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tap out. Little nod to, he did look at the crowd and it looked like, he's going to pass out. Yeah. But he went at it. Also, he did pay tribute to Terry Funk with his pants as well. Look, a lot of things. Fandango had potential in WWE. There was a lot of, things going on with him during that time. It looked like he was going to be on the top. It didn't work out for him. It's crazy that he did go over on Chris Jericho at a WrestleMania, but nothing developed afterwards.
No.
I don't understand why. We did get some good stuff with Breeze Dango.
And the Fashion Police.
Fashion Police. This guy had the look. This guy had the potential. It just never worked out for him. He did find life afterwards in wrestling, going to promotion until eventually landing in TNA Impact. And the last 2 years has been good for him there. But I guess he called it quits at the age of 39. Look, when you want to be done with wrestling, you want to retire, hey, go for it, man. Leave out there with all your marbles in your head. Yeah. I don't think he's done with wrestling. I think he's going to play a backstage producer or maybe a trainer. But I don't think he's done with wrestling at all. I think he's done in the ring for now. And life goes on for him somewhere backstage. And we wish him the best in his futures, honestly.
Thank you for making dancing fun again in the wrestling.
Yeah.
Thank you for making dancing fun again, for sure.
So we also got another retirement announced. So there's been a lot of talks that Adam Copeland, better known as Edge, is going to make his final run this year at WrestleDream in Toronto. Would be his last match of his career. And now after this, he's calling it quits.
Yeah.
Because at this point, he's getting up there in age. He has had a lot of health problems in the past. There's only so much a guy could do, and he's finally planning to retire and leave it all in the ring this year. When he comes back, who knows? But by the time WrestleDream comes around, I do believe that he's going to leave it all in Toronto, in his hometown, one last time. That's really sad to see, though, man. All these legends finally calling it quits. Yeah, in our time, finally calling it quits. What do you think?
Honestly, man, it is sad. Especially Edge, Adam Copeland. He came back from a career-ending neck surgery or neck injury, and it was one of those, like, you're never going to wrestle again.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this was my dream when I was a kid, but unfortunately, I can't continue with this. Came back, and when he came back at the Royal Rumble, I think it was, 2020, right? He came back?
Yeah.
That's when we drew one. Yeah, 2020, he came back to one of the loudest pops I've ever heard, and you could tell, dude, he wanted to bawl his eyes out as he's walking through. It's like, you guys still love me. It's been how many years, but you guys still love me. And it shows with the fact that he did do a lot for the business. He did change a lot in regards to just what was able to be shown. That's why he was known as a rated R superstar.
I mean, without him, we also wouldn't have Judgment Day.
Literally.
Yeah.
Judgment Day. Quick little comment, but at least he called the quits before something further happened to him in the ring, and it's true. Unfortunately, right now with him in the last few years with AEW, it's been injury after injury after injury.
Well, he's getting up there in age. Yeah. The scariest one is when he faced Malachi Black in that steel cage match.
Yeah,
and he botched that move. It was really on Adam because it wasn't on Malachi. I don't know what I think Adam kind of panicked. He fell. He dropped on his legs, and he messed up his legs from there on. Surprised he finished the match. But regardless, that was scary. And from there on, I'm thinking like, yeah, this guy really needs to call it quits soon. So I'm glad to see him finally call it quits on his own terms and walking up high. Hopefully from there on, he just plays it safe and there's no issues from here and there. Let's talk about another one. Another thing, actually, another big topic. And this is for all you video games fans out there. CM Punk has been announced to be the cover of WWE 2K26. The last time he's been on the cover of a game was WWE 13.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a couple of years, but it's glad to see him finally get his moment once again.
Yep.
And that being said, let's talk about some new features because I'm excited. I play WWE 2K25 religiously,
Okay.
and I love the game. I'm not going to say it's one of the best because, look, I got my opinions about video games when it comes to wrestling. It's like a whole damn episode that we could do one day. But I am excited to hear a couple of new features that are coming out. Well, not new features, but returning features.
Returning matches.
Returning matches. We got 4 new match types. One is the I Quit match. This is going to be interesting. Updated I Quit match from this era. It's going to be interesting. Another one is the Inferno match. All right, that one's back. That's going to be interesting too. And recently, we saw this happen on the SmackDown. We got 3 stages of hell. That one, I'm going to play the crap out of. I could already tell you this. When they had this feature back in the day, and Here Comes the Pain, it was awesome. My number one pick of a match all the time, facing one guy for 3 matches, 3 different types of matches that you want one-on-one in. It's a great feature, honestly. And the last but not least, this one's going to be interesting. The dumpster match.
Yeah, I did see that.
Imagine if we could get the New Age Outlaws versus Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack.
I was just about to say Cactus Jack.
I mean, that's going to take a lot of, star power to get Mick Foley to sign, to another WWE game, but we could only dream. Maybe he still licensed his character to them. We'll just hope. But that's going to be crazy. What do you think? What do you think, SU3? You don't really play too much 2K, but how do you feel about that?
Dude, I'm excited for the old school classic matches that we haven't had 3 stages of hell in God knows how many years since. Really, again, you said SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain.
There's also a lot of speculation that this game is going to have a lot of content, not just from WWE wrestlers, from TNA wrestlers, and AAA wrestlers.
Hey, Nick, if you play 2K, you can play as your favorite guy, Joe Henry.
Yeah, so we're going to get a lot more wrestlers. It's probably going to be one of the biggest rosters up to this date. I'm excited for it.
And don't forget later on the constant downloads and everything.
Yeah, well, mostly going to be DLCs, but I'm not going to lie, this is one DLC pack that if you release a good set of wrestlers,
I can see people buying it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this though, man. In regards to this, it's good because it does more. It really makes you expand outside just your normal matches. And eventually, dude, as a video gamer, you want to do something more than just your regular matches that you have every single time. You want to do 3 stages of hell, which again, it was exciting when it first, the first time it ever came out, which was what? So Here Comes the Pain, which is our childhood. And then after that, it kind of just drifted away and was like, hey, we don't need it. Glad the fact that they brought that back. The Inferno match was a classic. When did that one come? It was Raw 2006 or 7?
I think it was the first SmackDown versus Raw.
Okay, that one. So how many years has that been? Again, our childhood. But it's amazing how they're starting to bring back these kind of matches. And it goes to show you, like, you know what? Even though our product is PG, but you can at least start making your matches as what you want, which is, the hardcore and the gore and all that stuff, like what you're used to. A couple comments from Nick. Thank God it's Punk. I was biting my nails thinking it was going to be Joe Henry. Come on, man. We know he's your favorite. Y'all remember the John Cena versus Ryback 3 Stages of Hell match?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. It really was. I'm excited overall. Like you said, the more content you feature in these games, the better. I'm really excited to see the downloadables characters or wrestlers that we get in the bunch this year, if AAA and TNA is included. I mean, this is just epic to me. I think this is one of the most forward wrestling games that I'm looking forward to this year.
I may actually buy it this year. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I'm gonna pre-order it. I always do day one because I'm just that much of a fan. But I am gonna give my honest review. That's what I always do. But it has potential. It really does have potential. And hopefully, forward we get a lot more content coming out. One thing I really want to see is the WrestleMania showcase.
Yeah. Or
actually, sorry, it was the Road to WrestleMania from was it WWE SVR 2010? I think it started at 2009. Sorry, all the way 2011. the Road to WrestleMania, and it had different characters you could choose from.
Yeah.
One of them, you also faced the Streak, which was kind of nice. That was great back then. I wish we get some game mode because honestly, this My Rise is cool and all, but I wish we get some sort of game mode like we used to get back in the day, like storyline wise. I mean, they did a lot of creative stuff back then in these video games. I don't see why they can't do it now.
I can see that they're coming back with it now. 2K. It's not just so limited now, and that's for the longest time I thought 2K was just limited. They had fun. Like, you can see they had fun with the games, but they were just limited to what they could do. Now they're starting to expand, and I cannot wait to see what they can do now going forward. One more comment. I thought Ryback was over at one point. He actually was.
He was. He should have won that title back in the day.
I just feel like he just kept hurting Punk too much, which caused him the title.
I don't think that was it. I don't think anyone cared about Punk getting hurt during that time. No one liked Punk. I don't know what it was. I just see. Here's one of those things that fumble. Like, despite how we feel about Ryback now, back then he was really over. And should he have won the title? I think he should have. He's not my favorite wrestler, but he was over with the crowd, and it was the right time to put the title on him. But for some reason than the other, Vince did not see that in him. Hell, I think he got beaten by Mark Henry at WrestleMania. I forgot what year it was, but at that point you could see his downfall.
Yeah.
Which I never understood why. Like, he built him up so high just to put him back down.
I think it all started with the Punk killing himself. That's when I feel like his momentum really dropped.
Well, yeah. And then from there, he just kept losing all these big matches. And, yeah, I just keep going back to that WrestleMania where he faced Mark Henry and he lost.
Yeah.
It just didn't make any sense. Like, it made more sense because it would have made more sense him going over because it's the legend versus the future powerhouse.
Yep.
Instead, the legend still goes over, It just never made any sense for him. And I kind of do feel bad because, he did have all that potential and it was all for nothing. The crowd really was over with them. Feed me more.
I thought we both said at the same time. Minnesota.
It was really cool to see, though. It really was. I just don't understand it. I to this day, I don't understand it. Look, was it a knockoff from Bill Goldberg? Probably.
And Batista come back.
And Batista, yeah, but it worked.
Yeah.
And he was a good talker.
Yeah.
He was a really good talker on the mic. I'm not going to say he was the best, but he was good.
But again, though, he had like those one-liners, just feed me more. I beat this guy. Feed me more. Feed me more. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
he had comedy too, honestly.
Yeah, he did.
Remember that time where I think it was Kane and then Ryback was there and they were fighting at the concession stand. It was just funny. It was really good.
Promoting the Subway sponsorship.
Yeah,
gonna give me my foot long. Feed me more. Feed me more. I will never forget that. Ryback had one of my friends. Sorry, comment from Nick. Ryback had one of my friends on the Saturday show, and he just vented about WWE the entire time. It was supposed to be an interview. Dang.
Interesting, huh? That's interesting. Ryback these days, though, he's a character. I'm not gonna lie.
Something. Yeah.
He's been calming down a lot. Before he was like out of control and had a lot of opinions, negative opinions.
Bill Goldberg and I will face each other in the retirement match. Atlanta, let's go.
But lately he's been more like in peace with himself. Like, he's been really like understanding the business finally and being like, I understand, WWE side, I understand Punk side, which he's agreed a lot with Punk lately, which was odd because those guys didn't like each other for the longest. Oh, I think Punk still doesn't like him. I think Ryback made peace with Punk on his own, but I don't think Punk really likes Ryback to this day. Look, can you blame him? I guess not. If you get dropped in your head.
And a lot of injuries that you got because of him, like the ladder, cage, dropping on the head, dang it, the leg.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's just something. Look, regardless, it's one of those vouchers that we're probably going to talk about for years to come. Mark Henry called him a wild card. Yeah,
he was.
And I could see that influence that Mark Henry had that probably made him go over at WrestleMania instead of Ryback. So he probably did get in Vince's ear. And Mark Henry was a really good friend with Vince.
Yeah, he really was.
So I could see that happening. What else we got?
It seemed like he had it all for Punk. And I feel like he did.
Yeah, so look, Let's get down to the wire. SG3. What's your any other comments for the night, brother? Any final thoughts? Any opinions? Any notes? Any goals?
So one thing for sure is WWE, excuse me, not WWE. Well, yeah, WWE X Superstar Braun Strowman has been renewed for a second season of Everything on the Menu with Braun Strowman.
I like that show. I seen some of it after SmackDown, and I liked it. And Braun is very charismatic, and hearing that I'm actually happy for Braun because yeah, he did get fired from WWE, but somehow still got this show and got a second season. So one thing is, do they promote him as WWE star or ex WWE star now, or just Braun Strowman?
Probably the Braun Strowman.
Yeah, so it's just kind of interesting. I feel like this is calling card that he might start appearing at these food, channels, and he might just start.
Guy Fury.
Hey, I think it works. I really do think this is his calling. I'm glad for him. Ron, for looking at that steak like
I'm not
finished with you. Yeah. Yeah. What? Hey, if you throw some, wrestling promos in there, I think it would sell. I think this guy is perfect for that. I seen some of his shows and I thought, like, this show is pretty good for him. I wish him all the best. I'm glad to hear that he got renewed, and I hope he does find life after wrestling because it doesn't seem like he's gonna ever get back in the ring. He has too much injuries. He's up there in age. He's a big guy. When these big guys get injured, it's hard to come back from that. Yeah, look at Taker, look at Kane.
Yeah,
some of these guys, it's just hard to get back to it. And he has a lot of injuries in his hands, so I'm glad he finally found a route that he could pursue in the future.
I'd still be love for it.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't Brandy Rhodes have a show too? Having a crossover would be cool, and I think it'd be cool if she does have a show like a cooking show. Sorry,
I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to look that up. Actually, I'm interested to see if she does.
Last thought for the night: Chelsea Green says she gives released talent from WWE contact information for other promotions. Her quote: "Whenever anyone gets released, the first thing I do is I message them and I give them the names of. I'm sure everyone hates me for this, but the girls love me for it. I'll give them the name of the AEW people that I know that they can contact, and the name of the TNA people that they can contact, and then anyone else that I think you could work here, that you could work here, and here. Like I think Billy Corgan would be great with NWA or Tommy Dreamer. Contact him. I just want everyone to have an opportunity."
So that being said, for me, that's awesome that Chelsea Green does.
Mm-hmm.
Helps out other wrestlers because it is tough once you get released from WWE. Once you get let go, once you get fired, it doesn't matter. It's hard, and the last thing you really have in your mind is, like what do I do now? Where am I supposed to go? It all crashes on you. But to have a person out there to send you contacts to try to help you, like, hey, I've been there. Look, here, take this. Mm-hmm. Take this, go to this indie promotion or get to contact with this person. They might help you here. Where are you from? Maybe I could get you into this match this week, help you out real quick, get you some money, get you set off in a good start. It's scary. It really is for her to do that. And I'm sure when she says a lot of people backstage doesn't like that, I'm sure WWE itself doesn't like that she's doing that. But since she's on the top of the promotion right now, which I'm glad for her, they're not going to say anything. So for her to do that is awesome. It really is. She's one of the few gems of this era that she's a genuine good person for that. Because a lot of people in the business won't do that for you. No. So genuine gem of a person. And hopefully for Chelsea Green, she goes further up on the top for that.
She deserves so much.
Yeah. What else we got as a comment?
I wonder what WWE management thinks about the WWE talent helping out their competition by referring from talent to their. We just talked about it.
Well, that's the thing. But the most important thing is referring them to AEW. That's
AEW, NWA, anybody. I just think WWE at this point, they see everyone as competition except for TNA.
Well, yeah, because they work for TNA.
Yeah.
Well, they want to work with New Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, New Japan does have that relationship with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a lot of mixed opinions in the locker room where some people actually want to end their relationship with AEW. That way, they could start a new relationship with WWE. Because I feel like WWE is willing to get in bed with New Japan Wrestling, but only if they could have their hands in that promotion.
Yeah.
Does it benefit New Japan though? Yes. But do their fans would like that? Who knows?
That's true.
We'll see. We'll see.
Last comment. I'm sure Vince McMahon would have blown a gasket. God damn it, Chelsea, you're ruining me.
Probably would have fired Chelsea.
Literally, you're fired.
Thank God Vince is not around anymore.
Literally.
But look, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you very much, SG3. I want you to close it out for us, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments. Nick, we always appreciate your comments. Thank you for making me laugh. Thank you for making this guy laugh. Appreciate your comments. Listen, guys, I know we were kind of fickle on what time we come on, but just go ahead and put the little notification bell so you can see what time we come on. We'll be here next week, Monday, same time, same channel, talking about the Rumble, getting excited. Let's go. Y'all have a good night.
Oh, yeah.